I think I got something.
Okay.
We'll see. Welcome to episode 6 of A Drink with James. I am James, and this is my drink. So today I want to start off by talking about some of my disappointments this week. I think that, you could look at my life and you could look at my Instagram account, James Nord, and you could be like, everything looks awesome. But I had a few things go wrong this week. One, The Rock is not here. Last week I made a plea. I said, Dwayne Johnson, aka The Rock, would you like to be on A Drink with James? He is a bit of a social media genius in my opinion, so I thought it would be really valuable for y'all if he was here. Haven't been able to get in touch with him. He's not here, so that's a pretty big disappointment. 2, I went to this concert last night for Father John Misty, who I love, and he played 45 minutes of totally new music, which is like fine, but it's like going to a Rolling Stones concert and they don't play Beast of Burden or Gimme Shelter. It's like, I don't totally understand what you're getting at. So those are my 2 disappointments. This is my drink, and we're gonna answer some questions now. Common threads for Instagram growth, and I think this was asked by Becky. So I don't know if y'all have seen in our weekly emails we send out, we talk about it on our Instagram account as well, which you could also follow, 4Card as well, which would be good. But we talk about people who had extraordinary growth. And we have people who are gaining 10, 15, 20,000 Instagram followers a week sometimes, which is incredible. And it's hard to sometimes crack the code of exactly what they're doing. But I do think I'm gonna harp on this over and over again. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Consistency is huge. I think creating an editorial calendar helps. Having things that you do. On Mondays I do this, on Tuesdays I do this, on Wednesdays I do this. It makes your life easier because you can kind of structure what your content's gonna look like, but you also train your audience. This is something that Eva Chen over at Instagram talks about a lot. She also talks about creating series that you can always recreate. Check out Eva Chen's account. If you don't follow her, that would be surprising. But if you don't, we'll put her handle over here. But she'll do this. She does the thing in the morning with her shoes and the apple and the handbag, and that's something that if she doesn't have anything else to post, she knows she can post that. She's been recently getting people in fashion to put on an Instagram sweatshirt. She takes a picture with them. These are easy things she does, but they're replicable. You can do them over and over again. Again, your audience starts to get trained and they start to know what to expect and they start to look forward to that. Your feed looks more consistent, and I think your following will just continue to grow. Minority in the fashion scene. So this is an interesting question. Hold on. I talked to Fashionista maybe a year or so ago about this. We'll put a link up here to the article if you want to check it out. But the article is about how fashion bloggers have actually made fashion as an industry pay more attention to minorities. And I think if you look at the history of this space, for us in 4Card, we have 31% of our top 100 influencers are minorities, which is fantastic. And I think if we look at why that is, it's because for so long, traditional fashion media ignored minorities. And so, I think it's easiest to see this trend in the YouTube beauty tips, beauty blogging space. The thing was that these magazines would give tips on how to wear different kinds of makeup, how to do a cat eye, something like that. But they were just giving those tips for white girls. And you have to wear different kinds of makeup if you have different skin tones. You have to do a cat eye in a different way if your eyes are shaped not like a white girl's are. And so there was this explosion of content from minorities teaching other minorities how to interpret these trends, interpret these tips, and make them work for them and come up with totally new things. And again, traditional fashion media completely ignored it. And it was a big, it's a huge amount of fuel on the fire of the early blogging space. And I think continuing today, people follow influencers, bloggers, whatever you want to call them, a lot of times because they're looking for certain types of advice. And they're looking for themselves and other people. And so my advice to you, if you're a minority struggling with what kind of content to create, is to just be yourself. Don't try and copy, what everybody else is doing. This is advice I'd give to anybody. But understand that your power is in your differences. It's in, in some ways what you're not. It's in what you are and what you're different from other people, and that is going to fuel your growth. So embrace that and highlight it, because there's a lot of other people out there probably who are, like you, and they're looking for advice. Best way to contact people at brands and PR agencies. This is an interesting question. It's something we touched on in the earlier episode. Tim's going to find it and link to it. I talked a bit about how to find people's contacts, but I don't think I talked so much about what do you do once you actually find that contact. I think I mentioned that you want to keep the email brief and things like that, but generally when people think about getting work, they think, I have an idea, and I think that idea is going to be great from this brand, and so that's it. I'm gonna email that brand. All that's standing between me and doing this job is what their contact information is. That's not really the case. If you actually think about how you can build strong relationships and book work and work with more brands, it's more of a 4-step process. So step 1 is relationships. You have to build a relationship with these people. They have to know who you are. Step 2 is validation. They have to know that you're going to do a good job. Are you working with other brands that are like them? Are you someone who's on the up and up? Are they going to be embarrassed by working with you, or are they going to be looked at like a genius because in a year you're going to be one of the next big bloggers and they found you first? You have to be validated in some way. There has to be an opportunity. What are you going to do? What does this brand need? Are they working on something that you can help them with? And then you have to do the work and do a really good job. There's no part of that process that you can skip, especially as an up-and-coming influencer. If you're much bigger, if you're a huge influencer that everyone knows, they kind of already have a relationship with you because they know you, and you're validated because you have hundreds of thousands of followers and you've worked with every brand. So 2 steps are taken care of. So they can just go to the brand and be like, I want to work with you, and it happens. But as a smaller influencer, you don't have that immediate validation, and you don't have a relationship, personal or online. So you need to first try and build a relationship with that person. Reach out to the brand people, see if they have any events coming up. It's really tough as a brand person. You put an event on, it's tough to get influencer coverage sometimes at events because it's dark, the lighting's not great, nobody wants to post event photos sometimes. Go to that event, post a photo, you're doing them a favor. Send them the photo the next day. It was so great to meet you. Let's get drinks next week. Go to drinks, go to coffee, whatever it might be. Work with brands in the space that are like them. Do it for free, tag that brand. They're seeing that, oh, they're working with this brand, they're working with this competitor. They're doing cool stuff. They have good taste. This is someone interesting. Talk to them about what they need. What are they working on? What can you help them with? Once you see that opportunity, that's when you say, I have an idea I think will be great for you. But just coming in and saying, here's my idea, here's everything about my idea, do you want to do it or do you not want to do it? That's probably not going to work. If you're an up-and-coming influencer, you have to understand it's a longer process. But it's not that hard of a one. 4 steps: relationship, validation, opportunity, work. Crush those, you'll be, on the up and up. So that's it. Episode 6 in the bag. We're constantly looking for ways to make this better. So continue to ask your questions. Without that, I'm just sitting here drinking, which we could do. That could be like an art piece of Tim's. It's just 10 minutes of me sipping whiskey, not speaking. But I don't think that would be as helpful. So keep asking questions. If you have suggestions, if you have ideas, things you want to see, we're thinking about bringing other influencers in, maybe bringing brand people in, bringing some other people in, get some insights other than mine, which, do I want to share the screen? Not really, but I understand I probably have to. So keep the ideas coming, keep the questions coming, and Tim will keep the drinks flowing.